Welcome back to the kitchen. It's your host, Chef Twiggy. Today we're gonna make a lasagna. All you need is some pasta. We're gonna make the sauce. So with the sauce, we're gonna have onions, carrots, mushrooms. We're gonna need some ricotta, some mozzarella. Can't forget the parmesan. For the meat, we're using 50-50 mix of Italian sausage and some 80-20 beef. Some parsley, Italian seasoning, and for the sauce, we're gonna use tomato paste and some San Marzano style tomatoes. Don't forget to get your foil. I had to go run and get some because I didn't have any. So let's get started. Yep, so first things first, we're gonna prep our veggies so we can make our sauce. Yep, so we're gonna peel our carrots first. Alright, now that our carrots are peeled, we're gonna go for our onions. Peel the last layer off. I always like to peel the last layer off. Personal preference. Personal preference. Take out the middle. Take out the middle part. Nasty. We're gonna finely chop it. Taste good. Alright. More you could use less. You even gotta use onions. We're using about a half cup of onions. You could use more, you could use less. You even gotta use onions. But I think onions give a flavor, especially when you caramelize them. And just a rough chop. Alright, now let's chop our carrots. And this is just for the pasta sauce that we're going to use inside of our lasagna. Now that we got our onions and carrots diced up, we're going to go for our mushrooms. And before you get the mushrooms, make sure that you wash them because they do come pretty dirty. You go thin slices first. Now we're just gonna chop these up. I'm using some baby portobello mushrooms. You can use button mushrooms, you can use regular portobellos, you can use shiitakes. I never used these before, so they look pretty cool. I never heard of a baby portobello. So just nice thin chop, slices, dices, you know the drill. Oop. Now I'm gonna end up using a blender. So once I get all the tomatoes and all this just cooked up, I'm gonna blend it. Gonna make a nice, even, smooth sauce. All right, so we got our vegetables ready. Now we just gotta get our tomatoes. All right, now that we got our veggies all chopped up, we're just gonna get a can of some San Marzano style tomatoes. Open that bad boy up real quick. That bad boy open. All right. So we're gonna get a pot, add all our vegetables in. So we're gonna let those soften for a little bit. Once they're softened, we're gonna add the tomatoes, keep that at a low simmer. Whenever I'm softening vegetables, I love to use olive oil. Can't go wrong with some olive oil. Just a little bit, probably like a tablespoon. Let that go for a little bit. Add some black pepper for good measure. Now we can start getting ready with the cheese and the meat. Alright, now that our vegetables are almost brown, we're going to start with the meat. We're going to add garlic, a little bit of onions, cook that down, add the meat and cook that down. Now to show you the veggies, as you can see, they're pretty ready. So now we're going to add the tomatoes. I have a whole can of tomatoes. Now these are whole tomatoes, so you're gonna wanna kind of smush them up with your spatula. Into the sauce, I'm gonna add a little bit of Italian seasoning. So we're gonna start out by mincing a little bit of garlic. I'd say about 5 cloves should be good. We're gonna get our pan, add the garlic. Now we're gonna get our onion. So that a rough chop as well. Add that to the pan. Now we're gonna add our sausage and our beef. And we're gonna let that cook down. Alright, now that we got our pasta sauce going, we got our meat going for the pasta sauce, now we can get ready to cook our lasagna. So we're gonna get a big bowl, add some water to that. Just enough to cover the lasagna. We're gonna bring this to a boil, add our lasagna to that. Alright, now one of the last things to prep is our cheese for lasagna. We're gonna use ricotta, mozzarella, good old parmesan. Grate that mozzarella. Alright, so to the mozzarella, we're gonna add the ricotta. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. And we added eggs to that. Now you're probably asking, why are you adding eggs to all that cheese? So when you layer it with the sauce and the cheese and the pasta, the egg mixed with the cheese is gonna let it solidify, pick it up a little bit so it's not just super ooey gooey going everywhere. Because you at least want it to keep its form somewhat. Now in a separate bowl, we're gonna get more of this mozzarella. So when the lasagna is 15 minutes away from being fully baked, we're just gonna take the top off, add some more cheese, and let that bake on. Now to the mozzarella, we're gonna add some more parmesan. And that's gonna be the cheese we top it with. This is gonna be the cheese we fill it with. Alright guys, you can see our meat's getting nice and brown. Our water's almost to a boil, so we could add our lasagna. Now our pasta sauce is basically done, we just gotta blend it all together. Now when this is fully cooked, I'm gonna strain all the fat from it, add that back into the sauce. Now that that's almost up to a boil, we're just gonna add a little bit of salt. And let our pasta cook down. Now you could use just all Italian sausage, but I think when you add beef, it gives it this nice umami flavor that you can't really get with just sausage alone. But it's all personal preference. You could just make a veggie lasagna if you like. And it always smells good in this kitchen. Alright, we're getting close to the end now. We're gonna get our handy dandy hand blender. Blowing that up. That's looking a lot better. It's still kind of chunky, but also want that nice bite of the vegetables in there. Now that our meat is nice and brown, just gonna strain that of all the fat, then incorporate that into the sauce. Alright, now that we strained our beef, sausage mixture, let And we have our meat sauce. Pasta is now fully submerged. Whenever this is al dente, meaning to bite, chewy, we're gonna strain that using some cold water, so we stop the cooking process. And once that's done, we can layer our lasagna. Get our handy dandy strainer ready. Alright, now that our pasta is done, we're gonna strain it. Alright, now that everything's done, we can start layering. So first we're gonna get our pan, pasta sauce, or thick hearty marinara, however you want to say it. You're gonna start off with a layer of just the sauce. Yep. And to that we're gonna add our pasta, followed by another layer of sauce. We're gonna get our cheese mixture that we did earlier. Some more pasta, some more of our sauce, cheese. Now we're on our last layer. Just gonna top it off with our sauce. Grab some of our handy dandy Reynolds wrap. And this is to keep all the moisture in, so the pasta, if it's undercooked or it's overcooked, it'll just keep it slightly moist. And we bake. Alright, now that there's 15 minutes left on the timer, we're going to take our lasagna out. Man, that smells so good. So we're going to get the rest of our cheese, the mozzarella and parmesan that we set aside. We're just going to top it. Now we're going to add it back to the oven so the cheese gets bubbly, nice and crispy. See you when it's done. Now that our lasagna is cooled off, we just got to finish it off with a little bit of parsley. Alright, so we're going to get our plate, spatula. Alright, now that we got our lasagna, we just plate it up. And a little bit of parsley. Now let's see how good this lasagna actually came out. Delicious.